Hey, kindergarten and first grade leaders, we have had an amazing couple of weeks over here in XKidz City talking about May, discovering who we're meant to be, and finding these kids' individuality. I think that it has been so much fun watching you guys get to connect closer with your few, learn what it is that makes your kids special, and being able to, in turn, share what is special about you with your kids. And the activities that you're going to do this week is really going to help encourage the bond that you have with your kids, reinforce the idea that you guys care about the kids that are in your group. And it does require some early extra work on your part before you even get to XKidz City. So let me tell you a little bit about the work that you're gonna do leading up to Sunday. We're doing an activity this week called Personal Notes, and you are going to write a personal note to every single one of the kids in your small group. Now, I know that you're thinking, I have different kids every week. There are some kids that aren't here sometimes, then we have new kids sometimes. I have the perfect solution for you. So I'm gonna encourage you to make about 15 personal notes, and what you're gonna do is you are actually going to write these notes and then leave the names blank so that you can write in those names on Sunday morning whenever you see which kids you've got. But one of the things I also encourage you to do is to write these notes in a really general fashion, but yet still have that authentic feel to it. So you're going to, I suggest, write about 15 notes, but only about 3 or 4 different messages in those notes, so that you've got one that says, hey, blank, you are super amazing and so talented. God has made you in a really cool way. I cannot wait to watch you grow up and use your talents to glorify God. We have so much fun every single week. It's been really awesome getting to know you better. I love the way that God made you special. Your small group leader, whoever, Grayson Jones, shout out. And then you're gonna have another template that's gonna say, hey, blank, I love having you in small group. You bring so many cool conversations to life. I cannot wait to see how you're gonna use your talents to glorify God every day. So you're gonna make 3 or 4 of those template. And by the end of it, you should have 3 or 4 templates, and you should have about 15 cards, all that have the ability to go back and be customized to each individual kid that you have in your small group that day. So those are that's work that you have to do leading up to Sunday to make sure that your lesson is gonna go smoothly, that your activities, or you're gonna have enough cards for every kid, and that every kid gets to walk away feeling special and like that they have been remembered and they've been cared for really intentionally. If for some reason you are not able to do your personal note bit, I encourage you to still go through, review the story like you're supposed to, and then whenever it gets to the personal note bit, I want you to take down everyone's name and say, next week I will have a note of encouragement especially for you. And if nothing else, that encourages your kids to come back next week so that they can get their special note of encouragement. I encourage you to pray over every single note. Pray for this kid's family, their siblings, their school life, their friends, for their spiritual journey, their relationship with God, for their knowledge about self-worth, whatever it is that they see themselves, that they see it the way that God sees them. It's a lot of opportunities to do ministry through these personal notes, and I hope you guys really take this activity to heart. Moving on, I'm sorry, I've spent a long time talking about that, but it's a really important one. So the first activity that you're gonna do is your early arriver activity. And it's gonna be just something super fun that actually is gonna help you with an activity for later. So you're gonna ask your kids as they arrive, you're gonna ask them about their birthdays. Kids love their birthdays. So when you ask a kid about his birthday, when his birthday was, how old she is, that they're going to really wanna tell you about that, because oddly enough, that is something that makes us special, is that we all have different birthdays. So you're gonna get your kids to tell you their birthday, and they are going to line up from youngest to oldest. And that's a combination that you're gonna end up using in a different activity later. So you're gonna come in, and that's gonna be one of your first openers, and then you're gonna send them over to large group, and then one of your later activities is going to be can you do it? And you're gonna list off all these different things that we can do, and you're gonna have them do it in place. If you can walk, I would like for you to walk in place. If you can run, I want you to run in place. If you can throw a ball, I want you to pretend to throw a ball. And one of the things that it really urges you to do is make sure that everything that you say your group can do. So unless you know everybody in your group can whistle, don't say, if you can whistle, whistle, because you might have some kids who, I can't whistle. And then you have to deal with that. It gives you a really great list. We've got a cool list there of examples, but I encourage you to make it your own and do your own thing. And if you've got some kids who can all do something really neat, totally do that. If all your kids can floss, get all your kids to floss. Gosh, that makes me sad to even say out loud. One of your other activities that you're going to do is called a verse echo. And you are going to get your kids to, it's basically repeat after me, but the way that it's kind of, the way this activity is kind of dug through is that you're going to say a few words of the verse, and then you're going to get the kids to echo the words back to you. And you can do it in chunks, you can do it in singles, but as you do it, you're going to get, you're going to build your groups doing it. So eventually, you're going to start with individuals echoing back to you. And then you're going to get 2 kids doing it back to you. And you're going to have 3 kids going and doing it. And I would say, and I love whenever it says this, do this for as long as interest holds. And I don't know if that's warning us that interest is not going to hold long for this, or that this game has a lot of juice to it and you can milk it for a long time. But either way, it's built in, continue for as long as interest holds. Do it a different way each time. Of course, as you guys get ready to pray and dismiss, you're going to basically talk about how our memory verse this month, because it's a psalm, the psalms actually can be prayers. That sometimes whenever we don't know what words to use, we don't know what to ask for, we don't necessarily know what we want to say to God, that we can turn to the psalms and there are prayers written right in there for us for any and every occasion that we might find ourselves in. So I think that you've got a great series of lessons and activities going on this week. I hope you guys take the extra time to prepare for your personal notes. I think it's a really important piece of this week's lesson, and either way, you have the ability to use this activity to build the relationships that you have with your few, but I really encourage you to do it on the front end instead of waiting and trying to squeeze it in on the back end. I hope you guys are looking over your lessons, that you're reading these emails. I hope that you are signed up for Explosion, because spots are going fast, and I want to make sure that you guys get on the teams that you want to be on. We also have a splash class coming up this Sunday. If you've got kids that are asking about salvation, asking what it means to be baptized, what it looks like to follow Jesus, make sure that you take one of the splash class cards in your small group bags and give them to parents and tell them, you know what, you don't even have to sign up. There's one today. Go ahead and head on over to the family room over by Next Steps, and they would love to have you. Guys, I love you. I'm praying for you, and I cannot wait to see you again on Sunday. Hopefully daylight savings time is not messing up your week too bad, but if it is, just power through. Prayer is a powerful thing, and it can give you rest like you would not even believe. So pray for that rest. Pray for your body to kind of adjust to time better, and I cannot wait. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Until then,